And this is the exact reason why I just cannot watch that show. I'm not about to sit here and get my blood pressure up any more than I need to. I came into the new year with a brand new mentality, and I thought I was going to try to turn over a new leaf and say some positive things about Triple H, and maybe that will remind him what time it is when it comes to real professional wrestling. Basically, a little reverse psychology. I'm letting the cat out the bag because all that shit is over with now. A lot like I've come to find out in my life overall, I'm not wrong. It's a reason why there are moments that I have to just crash out on WWE Creative. This R-Truth situation is one of the biggest reasons it happened last year. And now, these people just can't even let me start the new year off in peace. I couldn't even enjoy and celebrate Martin Luther King Day without this foolishness coming up. One of the biggest things I don't like about Unreal and Triple H trying to rehash this situation and make it seem like R-Truth was in the wrong is the fact that they're trying to make R-Truth look unprofessional. It seems like every time I turn around, they keep disrespecting this man. And I know half of it is because R-Truth proved everybody in that creative team wrong last year. Back to some of these comments that Triple H and Road Dogg made. More particularly Road Dogg. He said that you don't know if you're going to get that return for a guy at that age. R-Truth, the same guy that has showed us that he's pretty much not lost one single step inside of a ring. And unlike Road Dogg, R-Truth actually does athletic moves. And even at 50 years old, he could still do all of those things. But this is information the WWE knows more than I ever could, because they're there with R-Truth on a day-to-day basis, and they know what this man is capable of. So let's go ahead and put that to the side and go to Exhibit B. That being the reaction that the WWE received from the WWE Universe. When news broke that R-Truth was fired/released and wasn't getting his contract renewed, it seems like almost every single wrestling fan has something to say about it. And this was one of the first times that I've collectively seen wrestling fans make that type of noise. They made so much noise that Nick Khan, the president of WWE, took it upon himself to make the situation right and reached out to R-Truth with the real contract. So as far as Road Dogg is concerned, how was that for a return? I thought the main point of WWE was to entertain. All wrestling aside, of course, we talk wrestling because that's what this is. But at the end of the day, we know what that is. It's sports entertainment. And the whole objective is to entertain and have fans pay to come see these shows, as well as spend money to see these shows on TV. Name me the time that R-Truth was on WWE TV and he wasn't entertained. That meaning that he didn't get a huge reaction from the crowd. There's a variety of videos online of R-Truth making almost every wrestler break character. Almost every time a wrestler has an interview or promo with R-Truth, they just cannot stay serious. They can't not laugh. The actual competitors can't hold it in. Just like Brock Lesnar, who happens to probably be the biggest monster in the WWE. And anytime you see him interact with other wrestlers, he just wants to whoop somebody. He's not there to joke around and be friends with people. But anytime Brock Lesnar has been in the ring with R-Truth, under any circumstance, Brock Lesnar almost breaks out laughing before the crowd does. And when you think about it, we've rarely seen Brock Lesnar attack R-Truth. So back to Road Dogg Jesse James, how do you not know what return you're gonna get from R-Truth? What's ironic about Road Dogg saying this is that Road Dogg is almost that type of character that R-Truth is. He's really just there for the comic relief. Of course they was gonna let Road Dogg whoop some, partly and mainly because of the same reason Road Dogg is a part of the creative team right now. He's just one of Triple H's guys. He's in the inner circle. Road Dogg is almost the exact type of character that R-Truth is, except one huge difference. Road Dogg can't or never could do 75% of the things that R-Truth can do inside of the ring. And that includes actually being funny on the microphone. Let's keep everything into context. DX in the 90s was mostly successful because all of their material was X-rated. Let's just call a spade a spade. Because like I always say, the smallest details make the biggest impact. Not only does a guy like Road Dogg have to be partnered with a veteran like Billy Gunn and have to be a part of a group that was featured with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, you know, the real superstars at that time, but almost all of the material was pretty much like pornography. You know, like their biggest catchphrase. We got 2 words for you. So you had grown men in professional wrestling telling people to suck it, calling Road Dogg's tag team partner Mr. Road Dogg actually has a subpar submission where he's pretending to have intercourse with his opponent. Now I bring all of that up for a couple of reasons. Because if we go back to R-Truth's career, again, the only thing that he's been guilty of is bad writing and mismanagement. Because whenever R-Truth has either performed in the ring or on the microphone, it's always been A+ and top tier. I remember when R-Truth was in a tag team with The Miz, and he had a tag team match against The Rock, and maybe John Cena. I can't remember The Rock's tag team partner at this time. It was points in that match when R-Truth was going one-on-one with The Rock. And those were pretty much some of the best highlights from the match. So think about that. I don't know what reason The Miz and R-Truth was going against The Rock, but a lot like I've done lately, I gotta salute to Vince McMahon. He's the only person that seems to have some type of sense. And for whatever reason, he saw fit to have R-Truth be in the match against The Rock in any capacity. And R-Truth showed up and delivered like he always has. Even last year, when you saw a couple of matches from R-Truth, he still could do everything he did when he had that tag team match against The Rock. It's kinda ironic how we've never seen R-Truth versus Triple H in any way. But anyway, back to Triple H saying that it was miscommunications and that the numbers were far apart on both sides as far as contract negotiation. What were you trying to offer R-Truth? And what were you basing it on? Because I feel like I've just named a lot of reasons why R-Truth should have got any type of contract that a legend should get at this point, especially if retirement is on the table. This is a part of my frustration because I know it is. If Road Dogg is saying you don't know what type of return you're going to get for a guy at this age, that means that this is a guy that's on the retirement list. But I'm starting to realize that's part of the problem. Does the WWE and or Triple H even see R-Truth as a legend? And this goes back to the whole thing surrounding race. How could I not go back to that? Because I just asked a very important question. When have you even heard the word legend be used when they talk about R-Truth? Because it's almost like the creative team is convinced all R-Truth is good for is just comic relief. And every one of those people should be not only ashamed of themselves, but they should know better than that. They should know better than that because they is there on a day-to-day basis. It's not like they have to speculate what R-Truth is capable of. They've seen it day in and day out. And this is why I have to suggest jealousy. How can it not be? It's almost like they don't want to look bad. I could argue the fact that at 50 years old, R-Truth is better than everybody in NWO and DX put together at this stage in their career. Maybe excluding HBK, because he's just one of the greatest of all times. But based on HBK's last match, which was a tag team match, maybe we might have to include him after all. So call it crazy if you want, but you just can't convince me otherwise that jealousy isn't a part of it. R-Truth can still perform at a high level. And everybody in NWO and DX was not able to go this long and be this good, no matter how good they were in their career. I hate to even keep getting down on Road Dogg, but look at Road Dogg. You wouldn't even think that this man was a professional wrestler in the past. Again, look at R-Truth. This man could still wrestle right now and put on a hell of a match. This man really said that he don't know what type of return he's going to get from R-Truth. A guy that's also put out numerous music videos over the past year alone. This is R-Truth that I'm talking about. Multi-talented R-Truth. R-Truth was just on the rap show On the Radar. And he had a pretty decent song on this show. So when I say R-Truth could do it all, it's no exaggeration. And I'm gonna point it out and highlight it because the WWE continues to downplay it. Let's top this whole conversation off with this. Last year, the WWE Universe let the WWE know what they felt when they did this dumb shit in releasing R-Truth. And when R-Truth was back signed with the company, what did they do with him? They had this man come out here and cut his dreads, act angry for a couple of episodes, go back to being silly and goofy, and then just disappear. How in the hell would we know what type of return we could get from R-Truth? A lot like The Rock over the last year, we haven't seen R-Truth. So if we was gonna go back to square one in the same incompetence as before, then why even resign R-Truth in the first place? But for this new silly ass show Unreal, which is exactly what the name suggests, the first thing y'all talking about is R-Truth. And y'all want to use the R-Truth situation to make this show successful. So let's keep that in mind. R-Truth is a big reason why people are watching Unreal right now. To me, you got the return as soon as R-Truth ran to the internet, as Triple H put it. And you saw the way that the WWE Universe rallied around R-Truth. And that, in turn, made people tune into WWE to see what was going to happen with R-Truth. So you got a return right there. And now, almost 8 months later, you're getting the second return. They're using one of the situations to show how unprofessional the WWE is to try to get one of the new shows off the ground. This is the most you'll see from R-Truth in an impactful way in the WWE. If you wasn't going to use R-Truth in a real way and give him real competition, then what was even the point of resigning R-Truth in the first damn place?